Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra.
Welcome to Market Mantra, the program in which we give you a complete update on the economic, business and stock market news of the day. I'm Arjun Chaudhary and with me is my co-anchor in Hindi, Prachi Priya.
नमस्कार, मार्केट मंत्र में आपका स्वागत है। देश विदेश की आर्थिक गतिविधियों और शेयर बाजार पर आज हम नजर डालेंगे और प्रमुख समाचारों पर भी चर्चा करेंगे। बातचीत के लिए हमारे सम्मुख आमंत्रित हैं वरिष्ठ आर्थिक पत्रकार A.K. भट्टाचार्य। महोदय, कार्यक्रम में आपका करजोर अभिनंदन।
नमस्कार, धन्यवाद।
चर्चा शुरू करेंगे अर्जुन, मगर उससे पहले हेडलाइंस।
Benchmark domestic indices extend their losing streak for the third consecutive session. Sensex drops over 50 points and Nifty closes at 25,170. Major Asian indices end mixed and global crude oil prices rise around 1%.
प्रमुख घरेलू सूचकांकों में लगातार तीसरे सत्र में गिरावट का सिलसिला जारी। सेंसेक्स 50 अंक से अधिक गिरा, वहीं निफ्टी 25,170 पर बंद हुआ। प्रमुख एशियाई सूचकांक मिश्रित रूप से बंद हुए और कच्चे तेल की कीमतें लगभग 1% तक बढ़ी।
Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra.
प्रमुख घरेलू सूचकांक सेंसेक्स और निफ्टी आज उतार चढ़ाव भरे कारोबार में मामूली गिरावट के साथ बंद हुए। दोनों सूचकांकों ने दिन की शुरुआत सकारात्मक रुख के साथ की। दिन के कारोबार में थोड़ी सी रिकवरी हुई, पर दोनों ही सूचकांक अपनी गति बरकरार नहीं रख पाए। सेंसेक्स 58 अंक गिरकर 82,102 पर बंद हुआ, जबकि निफ्टी 33 अंक गिरकर 25,170 पर बंद हुआ। बॉम्बे स्टॉक एक्सचेंज के प्रमुख सूचकांक नुकसान के साथ बंद हुए। मिड कैप सूचकांक में लगभग 0.3% की गिरावट आई, जबकि स्मॉल कैप सूचकांक में 0.3% से अधिक की गिरावट दर्ज की गई।
Benchmark domestic equity indices, the Sensex and Nifty, ended marginally down in volatile trade today, extending their losing streak for the third consecutive session. Both the stock market indices had begun the day on a positive note, but failed to maintain the momentum in the latter half despite brief recovery during intraday. Sensex slipped by 58 points to close at 82,102, while Nifty dropped 33 points to settle at 25,170. The broader market indices at the Bombay Stock Exchange closed in negative zone. The mid-cap index declined almost 0.3%, while the small-cap index dipped over 0.3%.
सेंसेक्स पैक में 30 में से 17 कंपनियों के शेयरों में गिरावट दर्ज की गई। नुकसान में कारोबार करने वाले शेयरों में ट्रेंट 2.3% से ज्यादा, टेक महिंद्रा 2% से ज्यादा और हिंदुस्तान यूनिलीवर 1.9% से ज्यादा नुकसान में रहा। फायदे में रहने वाले शेयरों में एक्सिस बैंक 2.3% से अधिक, बजाज फाइनेंस 1.9% से अधिक और मारुति 1.8% से अधिक बढ़े।
Among the sectoral indices at the Bombay Stock Exchange, 16 out of the 21 sectors logged losses. Among the top laggards, FMCG dropped nearly 1.3%, Realty lost 0.9% and focused IT slipped over 0.7%. Among the top gainers, metals advanced almost 1%, BankX rose 0.7% and auto added over 0.6%.
महोदय, मार्केट में उतार चढ़ाव के बीच भी अगर हम देखें तो ऑटो सेक्टर अपनी गति बनाए हुए हैं। मारुति और महिंद्रा जैसी कंपनियां अपनी जगह बनाए हुए हैं। तो क्या ये महज कंज्यूमर सेंटीमेंट है या फिर आप इसे कैसे देखते हैं?
देखिए, जैसे आपने कहा कि जो ऑटो सेक्टर जो है वो कंज्यूमर सेंटीमेंट की बात है। अगर आप जीएसटी की जो रुख देख रहे हैं आप, जिस तरह से छोटे गाड़ी की जो रेट जो है वो 28% से अब 18 में आ चुकी है और काफी कंपनियां ने जो छोटे कार कंपनियों के दाम में काफी कटौती हुई है, उससे जो अगर शोरूम से अगर आप फुटफॉल देखेंगे तो उसमें काफी फुटफॉल बढ़ चुके हैं। तो मेरा मानना यह है कि जो ऑटो कंपनी जो है वो उसी को दर्शा रही है, उनकी सेंटिमेंट को। और दूसरी ओर अगर आप देखें जो बैंकिंग व्यवस्था जो है, बैंकिंग व्यवस्था में भी जो एक स्टेबिलिटी जो आई है बैंकिंग व्यवस्था में, जो नॉन परफॉर्मिंग एसेट्स के ऊपर काबू पाना, उससे जो बैंकिंग व्यवस्था में का जो नेट इंटरेस्ट मार्जिन की जो ग्रोथ जो देख रहे हैं, उससे भी ये लग रहा है कि जो बैंकिंग व्यवस्था को भी मार्केट काफी उसको प्रमोट किया है.
AKB, since you spoke about banking, it went up by 225 points today. The Nifty Bank Index repo rate has been remained unchanged at 5.5%. You mentioned about the net interest income, which is income earned by banks. In this Navratri, with the government pushing GST 2.0, what type of consumer spending are we likely to look at? Because spending requires access to finance. We're talking about not only FMCG goods, we're talking about auto. You just mentioned about how the auto index has got this boost in terms of small cars and vehicles, motorcycles below 350cc, but also home buying, both in terms of the inputs that go into constructing a home and for affordable housing, for that matter, or homes under construction.
Well, what we have seen in the banking sector in the last few years is a shift in the composition of the loans that banking sector gives. Instead of corporate loans, the banks have moved largely towards retail loans. And what you are seeing today in the banking stocks is actually a reflection of that expectation of a consumption boost in the economy, which will need more retail financing to be obtained, and therefore the margins to improve. And along with that, the point that you mentioned about the repo rate, there is no immediate expectation of any further rate cut, and which is a good sign for the banking sector, because if there is no further rate cut, the margin remains by and large intact. And taken together with the GST cut induced consumption boost and the banking sector's health being what it is a pink of its health right now, I would not surprise at all why the bank stocks have done well today.
My next question is on Nifty IT, and that saw a minor drop of 33 points. But the principal reason behind any future revaluation of IT companies would be in the US policy of pricing H-1B visas at $100,000, which is a cost to the employer in the US. So how do you see the IT index? And clearly, it's always been linked to the rupee, to the dollar. So let's have a look at how the rupee performed today.
अंतर बैंकिंग विदेशी मुद्रा बाजार में डॉलर के मुकाबले रुपया आज 44 पैसे घटकर 88 रुपए 75 पैसे प्रति डॉलर के स्तर पर दर्ज हुआ. डॉलर इंडेक्स 97.32 के स्तर पर कारोबार करता नजर आया.
Sir,
yeah, sure. I think it's an important point that you have mentioned. There are two things that are happening right now. At one level, the IT industry in India is reassessing its business plans in light of what the US is doing. Even if the US has tweaked its H-1B policy somewhat by saying that it is not going to be $100,000 for every renewal and every visa and every year, it is now saying the $100,000 was only at the time of application and not at the time of renewal. But I think the IT sector has seen this as a kind of a message, a signal that it must look at a business model that is not so critically dependent on a visa, which has been sort of weaponized, not just in the US, but also getting weaponized in other countries. So you are going to see the IT sector looking at more offshoring. There are earlier the IT companies were willing to send many of its employees to the US, riding on the H-1B visa opportunities. But now they can actually use technology and the digital interfaces and offer the same services while the tech engineers may stay in this country. So that is actually given them a better margin. So I think the overall impact that you saw in the first couple of days is now being reassessed, and IT companies are seeing that all is not lost. There is a way out of this, which is why the market, the fall that the IT index that you are talking about has been the muted today. Yeah.
अर्जुन, चर्चा को आगे बढ़ाएंगे मगर उससे पहले एक अंतराल.
Welcome back to Market Mantra. We're discussing about the goings-on in the market with our expert, AKB, as we fondly call him, AK Bhattacharya ji. The US dollar index is at 97.32. Ever since the Trump administration began its governance, the dollar has fallen by 10%, but unfortunately, many of the emerging market economies are being hit by the policies of the US, and despite our purchasing policy tilting towards a local currency, for instance, buying oil in rupee-denominated contracts, the rupee has been affected by the US dollar. Why is that the case?
Well, the today's drop of 44 paisa to the dollar is one of the largest decline that you have seen in one day. Now, since January, rupee has been one of the biggest, adversely hit vis-a-vis the dollar. And what has happened today is largely a reflection of the H-1B visa decision. Now, it is clearly going to impact India's foreign exchange inflows into the country. Remittances. Because the H-1B visa holders in the United States were actually sending the bulk of the remittances. And India is one of the largest remittances in the country. Now, you get around $130 billion every year. Now, the bulk of it has come from the US. Of course, there's the West Asia also. So the H-1B visa setback is actually given an impact had an impact on in the rupee. It has been neutralized by the very benign movement in the oil prices, and more importantly, the exports scenario continues to remain a little uncertain. The India-US trade talks probably will resume soon. So as a result of which, the rupee is behaved in this manner.
Very briefly, the outcome of the market this week, because we saw the highs of 83,370 in the market today and the low of 81,776 before settling at 82,102. This type of volatility, what is it showing in the market in the weekly performance?
Well, the markets are very nervous in a sense that there are so many uncertainties around. You still don't know what will be the India-US trade pact. Will it be revived? The talks will come and lead to a trade tariff for Indian goods, which is lower than the 50% currently. You have a situation on the H-1B visa. You have got, the geopolitical tensions, not yet seeing any deceleration or decline. So the markets are reflecting that uncertainty, and I have a feeling that this volatility will continue for some more time to come.
अर्जुन हमारे साथ AK भट्टाचार्य जी हैं. हमने बहुत सारे सवाल पूछे हैं और भी सवाल पूछेंगे, मगर उससे पहले लेंगे एक छोटा सा ब्रेक. कार्यक्रम में आपका एक बार फिर अभिनंदन. नजर डालते हैं एशियाई बाजार पर. एशिया के प्रमुख बाजारों में आज मिला-जुला रुख रहा. हांगकांग का हैंग सेंग सूचकांक 0.7% और चीन का शंघाई कॉम्पोजिट इंडेक्स लगभग 0.2% गिरा. वहीं दक्षिण कोरिया का कॉस्पी आधे प्रतिशत से ज्यादा और सिंगापुर का स्ट्रेट टाइम्स इंडेक्स 0.1% से ज्यादा चढ़ा. इसी बीच जापान में बाजार छुट्टी के कारण बंद रहा. प्रमुख यूरोपीय सूचकांक आज मुनाफे के कारोबार कर रहे थे. आखिरी रिपोर्ट आने तक फ्रांस का कैक 0.8% से ज्यादा, जर्मनी का डैक्स 0.4% से ज्यादा बढ़ा, जबकि लंदन का FTSE 100 0.2% बढ़ा.
Moving on to the US stock market, major US stock indices registered record closing highs for a third straight session on Monday, led by gains in technology shares. The tech-heavy Nasdaq Composite Index rose 0.7% to close at 22,789. The S&P 500 climbed over 0.4% to end at 6,694, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average added 1.14% to settle at 46,382. AKB, if you look at the US economy, more importantly, its inflation figures right now, 2.9% for the month, and that's CPI. But the stock market has been booming. Now, tech shares, if you look at Nvidia, Microsoft, Apple, Alphabet, Meta, Oracle, these are the 5 or 6 companies dominating the Fortune 500 companies in the US, and the valuations are all based on AI, artificial intelligence. How secure is the US economy based on just this industry or these companies which are primarily software based?
Well, they are the future industries, and there's a lot depends on how these companies do and how artificial intelligence becomes the backbone of the next stage of industrial revolution. But I think the U.S. stock market's reaction today, the positive spin that you see today in the U.S. stock market, is not so much because of just the tech companies' prowess, but also the impact of the rate cut that was announced by the Fed.
It's only 25 basis points.
But even then, but the question is that this was a rate cut that was not expected in the normal course. So it was a kind of a Trump-enforced or Trump-induced rate cut. So the markets have liked it. And I think the tech stocks particularly have also responded to this reduction in the rate, and they're probably hoping that a few more rounds of rate cut will take place in the remaining few months of the current calendar year.
Well, we're heading for another short break, so please stay tuned on Market Mantra. Welcome back to Market Mantra. In more news, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, has raised India's GDP growth forecast by 40 basis points to 6.7% in 2025 from its earlier projection of 6.3% in June. The OECD's latest World Economic Outlook stated overall activity is anticipated to be supported by monetary and fiscal policy easing along with robust GST reforms. However, it also said that higher tariff rates will weigh on the country's export sector. According to the report, the food price inflation has declined sharply in India, held by strong domestic supply and export restrictions. OECD has sharply cut its financial year 2026 consumer price index inflation projection by 120 basis points to 2.9%. The report also noted that the global growth proved more resilient than expected in the first half of 2025, especially in many emerging markets. A very interesting report this, because if you compute GDP and you don't take net exports into account, GDP does get affected. But we have a report here that's saying that your GDP is actually going to go up from 6.3% projected earlier to 6.7% now, primarily based on consumer spending. So are you going to compute GDP on the income approach or the expenditure approach by this report?
No, but I don't think there is any problem in the way they are estimating GDP. The OECD normally goes by its estimate on both on the expenditure side as well as on the demand side, and then there is always a gap between the two, but that is taken care of through those discrepancies. But the larger point here in the OECD report is the way they are revising their GDP estimate for India upwards. Now, there are many other agencies globally as well as within the country which have revised their growth estimates for India upwards in the last few weeks. It shows that the growth impulses in the economy, in the Indian economy, are still very much intact. And this has been also been fueled by, one was the income tax cut in the budget, and the second was the GST. So both as the Prime Minister talked about in his address to the nation, 2.5 lakh crore of demand stimulus, which is almost 0.75% of GDP. So this is going to give a big boost, and which is why this revision in the GD estimate takes place.
जी, बढ़ते हैं अगली खबर की तरफ। कल से लागू हुए अगली पीढ़ी की जीएसटी सुधार भारत के अप्रत्यक्ष कर प्रणाली को सरल बनाने की दिशा में एक बड़ा कदम है। विभिन्न प्रकार की वस्तुओं और सेवाओं पर कर की दरें कम करके ये सुधार नागरिकों को बहुत राहत पहुंचाएगी। हमारे संवाददाता ने बताया कि अगली पीढ़ी के जीएसटी सुधारों के अंतर्गत सरकार ने विभिन्न क्षेत्रों में महत्वपूर्ण कर कटौती की है।
जीएसटी सुधारों के अंतर्गत सरकार ने विभिन्न क्षेत्रों में करों में बड़ी कटौती कर आम आदमी को राहत दी है। सरकार ने 7,500 रुपए प्रतिदिन से कम किराए वाले होटल में जीएसटी को 12% से घटाकर 5% कर दिया है। इससे मध्यम वर्गीय परिवारों और यात्रियों के लिए यात्रा अधिक किफायती हो जाएगी और इसके साथ ही मध्यम श्रेणी के होटलों, होम स्टे और गेस्ट हाउस में भी नए निवेश को बढ़ावा मिलेगा। इन सुधारों में कला और सांस्कृतिक सामग्री पर भी जीएसटी को 12% से घटाकर 5% किया गया है। छोटी मूर्तियों, मूल नक्काशियों, प्रिंट, शिला मुद्रण, जेवराती वस्तुओं, प्रस्तर कला के सामान आदि पर लगने वाले जीएसटी को 5% कर दिया गया है। इससे वैश्विक स्तर पर भारतीय संस्कृति और शिल्पकारी को बढ़ावा मिलेगा तथा विरासत अर्थव्यवस्था को आधुनिक बाजारों से जोड़ा जा सकेगा। दृष्टि और शिवांग के साथ सकलैन अख्तर, आकाशवाणी समाचार, दिल्ली।
महोदय, शिल्पकार और कारीगरों की जिंदगी को ये जो नई दरें हैं जीएसटी की, वो कैसे फायदा पहुंचाएंगी?
देखिए, अगर आप जीएसटी किस किस सेक्टर में जीएसटी के रेट कम हुए हैं, उसमें 2-3 सेक्टर ऐसे हैं जो आर्टिसंस के लिए बहुत बहुत बेनिफिशियल रहेगा। जैसे खिलौने हुए, खिलौने के सेक्टर में टॉयज या लेदर आइटम्स या स्पोर्ट्स गुड्स हुआ या फुटवेयर हुआ, टेक्सटाइल आइटम्स हुए, ये सारे सेक्टर्स में जो जीएसटी रेट दरें घटाई गई हैं, इससे मैं मानता हूं कि जो कंप्लायंस और डिमांड में दोनों में सुविधा होगी और इससे जीएसटी जो आर्टिजन या स्मॉल जो शिल्पकार जो है उसके लिए ये काफी अच्छा साबित होगा।
महोदय, क्योंकि हम होटलों के अभी हम देख रहे हैं कि होटलों के दाम घट गए हैं और हम जैसे मध्यम वर्गीय लोगों के लिए घूमना फिरना जो है वो और इन घटे हुए दामों के कारण जो है वहां पे कहीं पर भी स्टे करना जो है वो सरल हो गया है। तो क्या ऐसा सही में मतलब कि क्या ये हमारी लाइफ को डायरेक्टली इम्पैक्ट करता है?
जरूर। जो मध्यम वर्गीय के लोग जो हैं उनके लिए जो होटल लग्जरी होटल नहीं, जो मिडिल इनकम के लिए जो मध्यम वर्ग के जो होटल जो है उनका जो जीएसटी जो है उसमें सुधार आया है, उसमें कमी की गई है। उससे ट्रैवल इंडस्ट्री, टूरिज्म इंडस्ट्री को बढ़ावा मिलेगा, इसमें कोई दो राय नहीं है।
Where the rent is 7,500 rupees and less for the room, the GST is 5%.
That's right.
Let's move on to the crude oil market. Global crude oil prices today rose around 1%. Brent crude was trading around $67.15 per barrel, when WTI crude was trading at around $62.95 per barrel when reports last came in. Moving on to the bullion market now. In the Indian bullion market, 24 karat gold was trading 1.5% up at 1,14,500 rupees per 10 grams, and silver was trading over 1.1% up at 1,35,140 rupees per kilogram a short while ago.
मल्टी कमोडिटी एक्सचेंज में ताजा समाचार मिलने तक अक्टूबर अनुबंध वाला सोना 1.5% बढ़कर 1,14,000 रुपए प्रति 10 ग्राम पर था। वहीं अंतिम समाचार मिलने तक दिसंबर अनुबंध वाली चांदी 1.2% बढ़कर 1,35,002 रुपए प्रति किलो पर थी। महोदय, आप कार्यक्रम में आए और हमारे सवालों का जवाब दिया, इसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
नमस्कार, थैंक यू।
And before we close, a reminder of the headlines. Benchmark domestic stock market indices extend losing streak for the third consecutive session. Sensex drops over 50 points. Nifty closes at 25,170. Major Asian market indices and mixed, and global crude oil prices rise around 1%. And that's it in this edition of Market Mantra. For now, goodbye.
इस कार्यक्रम में विशेषज्ञों द्वारा व्यक्त विचार उनके अपने हैं। आकाशवाणी अपने श्रोताओं को सलाह देता है कि निवेश का निर्णय करने से पहले स्वयं रिसर्च करें या किसी पंजीकृत सलाहकार से राय लें।
Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra.